So I spent the last few days talking about self-awareness, but today I'm going to give you 8 exercises that can help develop or boost your self-awareness. Number 1 is daily reflections. Spend 5 minutes towards the end of your day and reflect on how the last 24 hours has been. What went well, what didn't go well, why did they go well, and why did they not go well? Just observe yourself and all the mood swings and changes in moods that you had during the 24 hours a day. What this does is that it gives you insights about what triggers your emotional status, as well as patterns and processes that arrive at those emotions. Number 2 is the 5 whys method. Okay, ask yourself why something happened, especially when it's something negative. When you're faced with a challenge or a problem, just ask, why did this happen? Why am I here? What happened? What did I do wrong? Just ask various why questions. And you're going to arrive at several answers that you probably not know about if you didn't bother to ask. For instance, if you feel upset and you ask yourself, why am I feeling upset? And your answer might be that you're feeling upset because you were ignored by someone. And you go further and ask, okay, why does being ignored by someone makes me feel upset? Other people might get ignored and not take it personal. Why did I take it personal? Why am I upset about it? And you might arrive at an answer like, being ignored makes me feel unimportant. And you keep on asking and asking, and then you arrive at several answers that you never knew. Now, what this method does is that it gives you insight into your emotional triggers as well. It helps you to understand why you're reacting differently to something that happened. Therefore, it uncovers thoughts and beliefs that drives your emotions. Number 3 exercise is the mirror exercise. Now, this exercise involves you staring into the mirror for about 3 to 5 minutes, maintaining eye contact, talking to yourself. It's like a personal pep talk, all right? It helps to encourage you, to boost your self-confidence and all. Now, there's a myth here in Africa that if you start talking to yourself, it's a sign of early stages of madness. I understand, but that's not the case here. The mirror exercise is actually extremely healthy for one's mental health. It keeps you in a state of encouragement and self-confidence. What the mirror exercise does is that it deepens your connection with yourself and also increases your self-awareness, because when you look in the mirror and talk to yourself, you're being 100% honest, especially if you're the only one in the room. You can't lie to yourself. So you're being extremely honest and you're getting, to the in-depth of, who you truly are. Number 4 exercise is emotional labeling, okay? During the 24 hours of the day, we encounter several emotions, mood swings and all, ranging from happy, sad, angry, upset, and many more. So if you're able to label all these emotions, it will give you a clue to how your moods change throughout the day, all right? You might wake up happy and sleep sad. You might wake up sad and sleep happy. So various things happen to change your mood throughout the course of the day. Now, when you're able to notice when your mood changes, you'll be able to ask yourself, what really happened? What happened? Why did I get angry all of a sudden? Why did I get sad all of a sudden? Was it something that someone did? Was it something I thought about? Several things can trigger different emotions, in our system. So when you label all these emotions, it could give you insight as to, those emotional triggers. So what this exercise does is that it trains you to manage your emotions more effectively. Number 5 exercise is the strengths and weaknesses journal exercise. Now, this exercise involves you writing some of your strengths and some of your weaknesses as you've been able to observe them. Having a journal of your strengths and weaknesses helps you to recognize how your strengths have helped you to achieve all your goals and all the things that you plan to do, including work and personal life, as well as how your weaknesses become like a drawback or a setback for you. And identifying your weaknesses gives you an opportunity to actually look for ways to improve upon those areas of your life. Now, what this exercise does is that it helps you build a realistic self-image about yourself. When you have a realistic self-image, it helps you become a better person. And like I always say, to become a better pastor, wife, father, husband, brother, sister, and all that, you need to first become a better person, because trust me, you cannot give what you don't have. If you don't have love, if you don't have kindness, if you're not a cheerful person, you cannot give out the vibes of all these things that I mentioned. So you need to be a better person to be a better pastor. Take, for instance, if a man chooses to become a bit more self-aware, learn things and improve upon himself, and that man happens to be a pastor. So guess what? Members of each church will be like, I have a great pastor. He has a great personality. His daughter will be like, I have a great father. He has a great personality. His students, if he happens to also be a teacher, would be like, oh, I have a great teacher. He has a great personality. So you being a great person sips into all your sphere of contact. They would have a positive image about you, all because you chose to be a better person. So that is how being a better person affects all the people around you. At number 7, we have feedback collection. Just as the name implies, it means asking your close friends and family members, people who are close to you, asking them for feedback on your strengths and your weaknesses as they have observed. All right. Now, what this does is that it helps you to get feedback from people when you don't have the time to actually monitor yourself and keep tabs on yourself to actually identify these strengths and weaknesses. Another thing that this exercise does for you is that it helps you to identify blind spots that you may have missed if you were to come up with a list of your strengths and weaknesses, because there are things that you will not see, or there are things that you're going to miss, but your friends and your relatives will not miss it. Okay, so when they give you their list, and if you already have your list, you can compare and contrast and see the things that you're missing out on, as well as how to improve and work on your weaknesses. So the last exercise here is the visualization exercise. Like the name implies as well, this exercise means that you're going to visualize what you want to become in the next 3 to 5 years. It's so sad that some people don't actually know what they want to be in the next 3 to 5 years. It's really sad. And yet there are other people who know exactly what they want to do and be in the next 10 years. So if you know what you want to be like in the next 3 to 5 years, or even 2 years, you're going to start now to walk towards that process. That ideal person, that your ideal self, how do they behave? How do they talk? How do they dress? How do they approach people? How do they handle difficult situations? What kind of money do they have? What kind of business are they doing? What kind of work are they doing? You need to know all these things, because trust me, if you don't know where you're going to, anywhere will look catchy for you. You'll be so focused in going in any direction available. So if you don't know exactly where you're heading to, you will go everywhere and anywhere. You will head towards any available direction. So have a direction, know exactly where you're going to. As long as it is upward and forward, keep it moving, and one step at a time, you're going to get there. What this exercise does is that it helps you to clarify your values, as well as your goals and your beliefs, and all those things that will push you towards becoming your ultimate and ideal self. Now, when it comes to this exercise, 3 things are involved: growth, values, and goals. Now let's talk about values, for example. Values are the things that will guide you to what you want to achieve. They will guide your lifestyle. Now let's take, for instance, you have one of the values that you have is that you guys don't take alcohol in your family. If you find yourself in a gathering of people that take alcohol, you're going to pass on that. Now, it pushes you away from taking alcohol to focusing on various other things that you could probably focus on. If you come across people that take drugs, for example, and in your family, it's like a culture, you guys don't take drugs, you're going to also shift your direction to something else. If you come across something else and it's in conflict with your values and beliefs, it's going to shift you again. So like I said, It charts the course for your life. It guides you on what to do, what not to do. So that is the importance of values. When we talk about goals, goals are things that you don't have at the moment that you would like to have or achieve. You set them as goals, and your values guides you step by step and pushes you onto the path that will help you to achieve those goals. Now, growth, on the other hand, comes in when you keep taking all those baby steps towards achievement of your goals. Most times, growths are related to goal achievement. The more steps you take to improve and increase upon whatever you're doing and whoever you are, it pushes you upwards to achieve all the goals that you set for yourself. So all these exercises are important, but my favorite is this visualization exercise. It really keeps you in check. All right, that's it for today. I hope you learned one or two things. Like this video if it was helpful to you, and share it if you want other people to come across it. Also follow me on all social media platforms and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's it for today. I'll see you some other time.